I am not doing good today. I'm not doing good the past week. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here anymore. Why am I even here? So, I'm in between clients right now. I had a meeting at 1, it's done, and now I have a meeting at 2:30, and I just wanted to do this so I can get it out of the way so the rest of the weekend and everything I don't have to worry about much. And it's just me trying to close the door on something. So, move on with life. Pretty much move on with life, so to speak. So, thank you, Diane, for letting me know that my audio wasn't working. And that is because I've been messing with my computer for a week straight. And it is beyond frustrating. So the whole title of this is the state of the channel, but what it is that I'll still be streaming Saturday and Sundays. That's not going to change. It's the episodic videos and other videos that I make. I'm no longer going to be making. At least, I'll probably change my mind if things ever change. But for now, nope. And let me get into why. So, a couple weeks ago, I was editing videos. Not a problem. Everything was good and life was good, so to speak. Later that week, which was about a week ago, the Adobe suite was like, "Oh, you can update all your programs to the latest, and look at all these new features and all that." And I was just like, and I don't know why. It was late in the day. And I never make good decisions late in the day. I said, "Okay, yeah, just update them. Just quit bothering me, that kind of thing." Never. And then afterwards, I'm like, "Oh shit, I probably shouldn't have done that because there's always issues when you update Adobe stuff right out of the gate. You should always." And I'll probably say this a couple times, giving you the warning now, never, ever, ever, ever update your Adobe programs when they first come out for updates. Always allow a couple weeks to go by before you update them because you're probably going to be sorry in some way, shape, or form. So, on with it. So, last Saturday, I opened up my Premiere and it just doesn't work. It's stuttering, it's screen tearing, the time head is just stuttering all over the place. Destroying my weekend. It absolutely destroyed me. Besides the two really great streaming thing, it destroyed my weekend. It just enveloped me for the weekend. So, in all intents purposes, Adobe owes me probably around 7, 8, 9 hours at this point of time because that's how long I've been trying to get my Adobe Premiere to work again. So Saturday, I couldn't get it to work Saturday. Sunday, I decided to do their online chat. So I did that, and they actually, I think it's been over a week. Sorry, my dates are off, but you get the general idea. I went to the online chat, and that was absolutely useless. This person kept trying to do the same things over and over again. I told them it's not the files because last week they were fine. This week they're not. It's the same exact thing. There's nothing changed except for the program and the NVIDIA driver. What's going on? I even went to NVIDIA and asked, and they said we don't have any problems at this time with Premiere. So they aren't getting any. Even if it is NVIDIA, they're not getting any kind of massive, backlash about something through Premiere. And Premiere doesn't know about anything with NVIDIA, so I'm kind of ruling that out. It's not NVIDIA, it's Premiere. So, 2 hours later, tons of issues, still no resolution. So he put me into the queue to talk to someone else. They wanted to call me directly, and I told them to go F themselves. I'll call you. So I finally, yesterday, what I did to set everything up, and I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible, that's what she said is, I took a bunch of elements, and I put them in Adobe Premiere, and I set them up. It was about 5 minutes long, and I just put some writing over it, some filters, whatever. I just, did the 9 yards to it. And started working with it. And in the meantime, though, before I did that, I removed everything from my computer. Premiere, it was like when I reinstalled Premiere yesterday, it was like Premiere was never on my computer before. So I didn't have to worry about preferences or old files getting in the way or whatever. So everything was brand new. And the elements I brought in were brand new. Like they were I never used them. So I wanted to make sure there was nothing lingering that could possibly be it. So when I first started working with it, it actually worked pretty good. And then about a minute later, I made a cut and this computer, the program froze, and then everything was stuttery and screen tearing. And I'm looking at my computer monitor thing, and it says that my GPU or CPU or GPU, one of them, were spiking. I'm like, how in God's name is my CPU and GPU spiking to 100% when they are connected? And I have roughly 20 some teraflops, which is outrageously good. And I have easily 12 gigs of just dedicated to graphics, but yet it still is spiking. Something is really wrong with Premiere. Now, I at some point I thought maybe it could have been NVIDIA too, but I'm not going to go into it. They're out of the game right now. So what I mean by that is I really don't think it's them. It's definitely Premiere. And so then after I got that all set up, I had Resolve already on my computer, DaVinci Resolve, and put the exact same stuff in there. And I pretty much did the same thing with that. And I'm going back and forth, and I made some cuts and everything in it. Perfect. Not a stutter, not a hesitation, nothing. It is perfect. But Premiere, I could not even use it even if I wanted to. It was that bad. Like stuttering all over the place. I have no idea. Now, another thing I want to mention is my rig. I designed it for video editing. It's not like I grabbed some random rig from Walmart. I went in, spent it was $4,600, ended up being like $4,000 because they gave me some credits and stuff. But it was built for video editing. I took a bunch of opinions, everything I should get, poured it into this Excel file, and came out with this computer. So I built this computer to be a video editing computer. So now that I have that all set up, I ended up calling him yesterday. It was about 1:30, I think. I can't remember. I called him. And it took him like 10 minutes to get to where I needed to go. But, I'm like, whatever. And of course, they were Indian. And spoke with them. And he started to try to do the same thing the other guy did. I'm like, listen, I'm not wasting my time this time. You will not do that to me. You will not do that to me. We will start from where, and I told him exactly what I told you guys, having the fresh install and everything, and I have these files that are just brand new. There's nothing I've done to them, and we went through it, and same thing. For 1 minute it worked, and then Premiere would just, and he's just like, I don't know what that could be. So we did a few things here and there, and about an hour later, he's just like, I don't know what's going on. He just kept saying that the files were too big, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I have, a week ago, I was 0 problems. Now I have a project that is a quarter, not even a quarter, like a tenth of the size, and I'm having problems with it? No, this is on you, man. And I kept saying that, and I kept like reassuring him that, I'm not mad at you personally. The company you work for is trash. And towards the end, he's like, well, I'm not sure what else to do. I'm going to put this up to a higher level. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. I'm canceling it. If there's a way I can cancel it at work, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to see if we can just pull the suite on the 5 or 6 people that have it and just have them have Photoshop. And I know a couple like Adobe, After Effects. I haven't heard any problems with that, but who knows? I don't use it. So, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, forget it. But I just want to show you one thing. And I went to Resolve because, oh, sir, that's a third party. I'm like, I know. I'm going to show you this exact same stuff. And I was like going back and forth showing him. And he was real quiet. I'm like hitting the space bar and letting it go perfectly. Not a hesitation, not a screen tear, nothing. I made cuts, put it together, overlays, stuff like that. And I just typed whatever on the top, and I went over to, and it was just perfection. And the key was that was 100% resolution, where Premiere was 50%. because you do it a half resolution or a fourth resolution to make it go faster or whatever, make it do better. I'm like, you have a problem with your program. And I know a lot of people just kind of deal with it. So at this point, I just got to cancel you. So he had zero to say on that. I mean, what can you say to that? I mean, I understood. What can you say to that? So this morning I canceled. Or last night I canceled. Once I was done with that, I went right to my Adobe and I canceled it. Do not renew this. I don't want anything to do with it. I got like 10 emails. Like, we're sorry that you're having problems. We really want to continue doing this. Blah, 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 blah. And then this morning I got another email saying, hey, we don't want you to leave here. Click this link. And I'm like, I wasn't going to click it. But then I realized it didn't look like it was like a copy paste job. It looks like someone actually wrote the email. I was like, okay. So I clicked on it, and if they give it another chance, I guess. So they credited this month and free next month in hopes that we can figure it out, but you don't have to pay for the service while we're trying to figure it out. I guess. I mean, at least that's something. You know, at least that's something. Hey, Metal Skulls. I'm at wit's end with it, and I guess the ending to all this little story that I'm telling is that it completely took the wind out of my sails. I'm just tired of it. Even if I do end up fixing this, it's probably going to be a problem again. I tried. This is the third time now. I'm trying to do DaVinci Resolve. You know, God bless you people using DaVinci Resolve. I give you all the credit in the world. It is the most ass backwards put together program I've ever used. There is buttons all over the place that make no sense anywhere. I watched 2 tutorials last night. Well, 1.5. I fell asleep during the other one. And I watched some this morning, and it is one of the worst user experience I've ever had with anything in my life. It is just atrocious. And that's the reason why if they would do something to their interface where it actually makes sense and the workflow is good, I would probably have moved over there already. It is just absolutely atrocious. And I stuck with Premiere because whatever you need in Premiere is one click, no more than 2 clicks away. Simple stuff like Ultra keys and stuff like that takes 7 to 8 minutes to do in Resolve when it takes 30 seconds in Premiere. So Resolve is people like swear by and they love it and it's the best thing ever. And I'm like, you guys are fucking on crack. Excuse my language. You're fucking on crack because it's not a good. I mean, the engine itself is amazing. The way they have it, it's almost like a video game. The way they have it, where if you have 10 minutes to work on and you're working in the middle, it's only generating stuff in the middle. Because I noticed that, like, from the 3 minute to 7 minute in that section it's working, but anything outside of that, it's not. So it doesn't have to worry about that. So the engine or whatever is not having to worry about that. It's just like if you're in a video game, you go to a certain section, only certain cells show up. Obviously, not the entire game loads up. So I think that's how they kind of do it, and that's how it works, and it really works well. Sometimes when you quickly go from like say 3 minute to 10 minute, it takes a second for it to catch up. I don't care. That's everyday stuff. But my point is that it's just very frustrating. I can't use Premiere because I just can't use Premiere. Resolve is an absolute dog shit. I just wish I could I know people who use it and they're like, oh, we think it's okay. I'm like, how the hell do you think it's okay? The only thing I can think of is they never used anything else. Like, they don't know that Premiere and the way they have Premiere's interface is definitely, without a doubt, I am going to say it 100% fact, is the best interface you can get. Period. End of story. There is no contestation with it. But everything else with it blows donkey ass. So there you go. All right. So I really didn't want to rant and rave like this, but I am. But my point is, and my ending point is that I'm done with my episodic videos for I don't know how long. I'm sure if I get things working again, I'll probably kick it back on again. or start working on them again, or I'm really thinking of shelving them for till the new year and then working on other things that I've been wanting to do, like the fashion for Starfield. I have 140 140 outfits I gathered with my other character that I can just, do a little fashion show or something, and edit it. And that would be kind of fun, something different. I did that with Fallout 4, and I love doing it. So, stuff like that. Maybe do a couple Dungeons and Dragons things, or maybe do a Midnight Hollow podcast thing. I don't know, anything. It just I'm just the episodic stuff. I think I'm just going to shelve it because I always seem to have like oh, I got to get it done. I got to make sure it's done, even though I absolutely love it. I just need to shelve it. And honestly, 10% is on me for being the dumbest mother on the planet to update Adobe, but then 90% is Adobe just sucks. They're terrible. They don't know what the hell they're doing. I was on the board this morning looking, and there was like three things in the board where it's like, oh my god, another problem with Adobe, blah 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 blah. I went back an hour later because someone actually responded to mine, and those were gone. They were deleted. So yeah, that's how they're like, I'm going, oh, there doesn't seem to be a lot of problems. Well, there is, but if you start bad mouthing them, they just delete the thread. So I seen 3, and then within like an hour and a half they were gone. So you can start doing the math about that. So anyways, that's about it. That's all I wanted to say, that I'm pretty much done with episodic videos. Maybe forever. I don't know. I don't want to be dramatic like I kind of was with the last one. Like, oh, I'm so done. I don't want to be dramatic. I don't want to be the bitch or that guy. So, but I'm also leaning towards just, that's it. I'm done. I don't. I love doing them. If you go and watch them, just watch one and see how much work I put into it. I absolutely love it. I love rewatching my videos because of that, because they're fun and I enjoy it. But this really took the wind out of my sails, man. I've just been really depressed. I have a pit in my stomach. I just this would be the first time in 7-8 years that I'm going to go into a weekend knowing that I'm not going to be editing a video. Dude, that's sad for me, man. I know it might be like, well, so what? Who gives a shit? For me, that's huge. Well, so, yeah, Metal Souls. I mean, it could be. Definitely could be. I should have probably put the chat on here, but I didn't know who was going to show up, so. Yeah, I know. I don't know, because I can't find anyone else. I mean, here and there, smatterings of things where they have the same problem with it being stuttery. Everything that I look at, it says, "Oh, your files are too big, and your project's too big, and your computer can't handle it." I have an i9 920X. It's got 16 cores, 32 threads. I got 64 gigs of memory. I got a 3080. Apart from going onto a professional level or going to 4080, which I don't think I would even use any of that. My computer is, and I proved it with a DaVinci Resolve. I had 4 layers of 4K. Some of it was gameplay, some of it was live, and I just layered it on top of each other and scrubbed it. And yeah, at first it struggled a little bit, and then all of a sudden it smoothed out once it kind of caught up, and it was fine. I was scrubbing it, I was hitting play, I cut it, everything was fine. And that this kind of proves that my computer is fine. Plus I did a bunch of benchmarks on it. My 7200 RPM is running at, actually a little better than it should, at 220 megabits per second, and then my SSD is running at 2 gigs per second, which is top tier things. So it's not the transfer of information either. So it is all on Adobe. And they fucking screwed me. I wasted all this time. I'm making stupid videos like this. I'm trying to muddy my way through fucking Resolve just so I have something available. I guess that's the other thing I can do. I could just record stuff, and instead of being all technical, just kind of cut out the boring parts and put it up and use Resolve for that. I don't know. But, alright, I'm done ranting and raving. I need to take a drink. I'm done ranting and raving. I just want to. I needed something to put like the nail in the coffin, and this is it. To say, okay, quit trying to fix something that's not going to be fixed. In my head, I'm still like, well, maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that. I've had easily 7 or 8 different combinations of the NVIDIA driver and Premiere. One of them should have worked. None of them did. I've done it all on a SSD. I did it all on a. I mean, a lot of this all takes time to do, and then easily 2.5, 3 hours with tech support with them. I'm like, I just can't keep going in a circle. You guys don't know what's wrong, and I'm not going to waste my money. So the only little tiny hats off to Adobe is, again, they credited my account. I went in and looked, and I have a $22 and something credit on my account right now, and next month will be free. And I think they did it for a reason, but I think it's going to backfire on them because if I don't want to, then I'm going to use that $22 towards my Photoshop. I'm thinking they thought that this would be a complete suite, and if I wanted to keep it, I can just, and I'll forget about it, and I'll keep paying for it, and yada yada yada. But it's going to backfire because I'm just going to use it for my Photoshop for 2 months. So I'll have Photoshop for free for 2 months, and then just make sure that I never Premiere again. So the only other options at this point, and where I'm going to end it, is my camera sucks balls. It really does. It just does whatever the fuck it wants. So last thing I'm going to say about anything is that maybe I should look even further. I just know Resolve and Premiere are the 2 top contenders. I know there's a Sony thing, but that's not being updated anymore, and I think it got bought out. Heck, I think maybe Resolve bought it? I don't know. And there's a couple other Final Cut or something like that. So I should probably look into those too. Yeah, I should make just poop videos. It's funny as hell. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you, Metal Skulls, for swinging by. I know my niece Diane was here in the previous one, but I didn't realize my microphone didn't work because I was messing with my goddamn computer a ton to try to get Premiere to work. Oh, why don't you shut this off and try this? But they never tell you to turn it back on. They just let you, like, a month down the road, like, why isn't this working? It's because they asked you to turn off some random thing to see if there's a 0.01% chance it might fix something. Like, that's the second time that someone was on my computer or whatever, and they just changed a bunch of shit and left. And I was like, oh, crap. So I'm going to do some testing on Saturday. But like I was saying before, I'm still going to do my streaming. That's never going to change. I'm going to stream until my computer explodes or I explode or I croak. But the episodic videos are going to come to an end. I have, I think, 2 still in the can. In the can. That'd probably be painful. But I'm going to put up the 2 videos. I'll put one up next week, and then the following week I'll put up another, and then hopefully by then I'll have something I can just, I'll just put up a quick, like, I'm sorry, this is where it ends, and we didn't get to finish the Brotherhood of Steel and the Automatron thing. Sorry you won't see Piper's butt cheeks and Ada's butt cheeks anymore. So, all right, man. Yes, okay, cool, man. That's the Garga Smell one. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I have that on my thing. It keeps popping up, and I need to watch that one video that you had. I watched the first half, but, and yeah, I almost shut off your BitChute video today because, oh my God, the PA system, dude, that just drives me fucking bonkers. I know there's nothing you can do about it. But I seen a pack Brahmin move faster than this Vic. Like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. That kind of shit drives me nuts. But I made it through. Ah. Oh, good name. I like that name. Crix's End. So yeah, I gotta get going. I got a meeting in 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes. So just make sure I got everything set. The guy that's supposed to be with me is on vacation. Never told anyone he was going to be on vacation. We're all scrambling. So that's an addition stuff. So, all right, Metal Souls, thank you so much for hanging with me. I have to get going. And yeah, That's just a little PSA for everyone, and I'll probably just make a better thumb for it, even though I do like butt cheeks. I'll make a better thumb for it, and that's it. That's where I'm at. So, have a good rest of the day, buddy, and I will talk to everyone later. Yep, see you this weekend, buddy. Wait, hold on. There. That cheered me up a little.